Hey, Shalom, Israel. Brother Reggie Jr. here. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be reading Deuteronomy Chapter 12, just picking up where I left off from last time, guys, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Deuteronomy 12 and verse 1, and this is the Lord speaking through Moses. It says, "These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land." And we don't understand that a lot of those judgments and statutes were tied to us being in the land, but we're not in the land right now. We're in captivity. But I digress. It says, "Which the Lord God of thy fathers giveth thee to possess it." So Israel was not to think they were so powerful and that it was by their might that they got the land. No, the Lord wanted them to know through Moses that, hey, you got this land because I gave it to you. Esau got his land because I gave it to him. Ammon, Moab, they all got their lands because of me. It ain't got nothing to do with might, numbers, how smart you think you are. No, the Lord like me. I'm the reason why you have what you have. It says, all the days that you live upon the earth, ye shall utterly destroy. So the Lord is giving Israel instructions on what they need to do once they kill off the Canaanites and possess the land. He says, you shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess served their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree. So every place that they used for worship, Israel was to destroy those places. Verse 3, "And ye shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their groves with fire. And ye shall hew down the graven images of their God and destroy the names of them out of that place." So as you can see, the heathen, they worship their God all over the place. There is no type of order. Even here in America, about everything in America is an idol. I know it don't seem like it, but trust me, it is. A lot of the logos we have on our shirts, on our shoes, on our pants, what the name of basketball, football, soccer teams, all type of stuff like that are all named after gods and goddesses. Even stuff like coffee cups, like, Starbucks, how it's got the woman holding, all of that stuff be gods, brothers and sisters. And so you can see that the heathen, they worship their God, their gods all over the place. Well, the Lord is going to tell us something right here. Verse 4. He says, "Ye shall not do so unto the Lord your God," meaning your place of worship for the Lord your God is not going to be all over the place. But what is it going to be? 5. "But unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose out of all tribes to put his name there, even unto his habitation ye shall seek, and thither shall thou come." And we know that place ended up being Jerusalem. So we see that the Lord, even when it comes to worship, he wanted a central place of worship. Okay, he didn't want you to have a temple over here, a temple over there. Oh, the temple of Zeus, the temple of Diana, the temple of Hermes and Plato. Listen, the Lord didn't want none of that. It's going to be one central location that you guys are all going to come to worship, to sacrifice. You're not going to do like the heathen do. That stuff, they do grove worship. And the Lord like, don't do that stuff when it come to me. Jerusalem, that's where I want you. Now, yeah, you can have your little synagogues all over the place where you can speak about the word of God and, you go back and forth with the scriptures. But when it comes to actual worship, I want you in Jerusalem. And brothers and sisters, right now, we do not have a temple. That temple was destroyed. We no longer have that because we are in captivity, brothers and sisters. Verse 6. "And thither ye shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and heave offerings of your hand and your vows, freewill offerings, firstling of your herds and of your flocks. And there, in that place that the Lord chose, which we know is Jerusalem, and there ye shall eat before the Lord your God not wherever you want to, but where he told you to go. And ye shall rejoice in all that ye put your hand unto, ye in your household, wherein the Lord thy God have what? Blessed thee. And don't never forget, the Lord thy God have blessed thee. So everything that you enjoy, remember, the Lord is the one that gave that to you, not by your own might. Verse 8, ye shall not do after all the things that we do here this day. Every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. Because remember, they were constantly on the move. So there was no centrality, if that makes sense. But the Lord, like, listen, when we get in that land, though, and when order is established, that's when you're going to do all of these things that I'm telling you to do. Verse 9. For ye are not as yet come to what? The rest, which is what? What is the rest, brothers and sisters? It's the land. And notice throughout the Bible, every time the Lord is talking about rest, it's always being paired with the land. It's almost like rest and land is interchangeable. So that's why, brothers and sisters, these so-called black people, they're going to all of these different countries. They're moving from here to here to here to here because they're trying to find a land that will give them rest from this oppressive system by the hand of this fourth beast. But they can't find that rest. You know why? Because these lands that they're searching out is not their own land. And on top of that, you have this fourth beast running around, beating up on Israel, beating up on the whole world, stomping up on everybody. So not only do you have to be in your own land, but all of these ruling powers that are currently ruling, they have to be put down, brothers and sisters, because as it stands now, we are targeted by the whole world, the undesirables of the earth. So it doesn't matter where you go. As long as the ruling powers rule, they have a system set up that hates you and does everything in its power to destroy you. Yeah, it'll uplift other nations, but your black ass, they intend to have their foot on your neck at all times. That's why the Lord have to whoop this fourth kingdom's ass. And when he do, Israel will finally have peace. Okay? Verse 9, because we didn't finish. For as ye are not as yet come to the rest and to the inheritance, which the Lord your God, what? Giveth you. And don't ever forget that. But when ye go over Jordan and dwell in the land which the Lord your God giveth you into an inheritance. And notice the Lord keep emphasizing that through Moses. This land that the Lord is giving you. Because man, unfortunately, gets beside themselves. They start eating good, drinking good, sleeping good, everything going well. And they start like Nebuchadnezzar thinking that it's by their own power. It's by my power, by my wit that I have what I have. And the Lord like, don't ever forget, boy, you got what you got because of me. And if you got what you got because of me, guess what? I can take it at any time. And that's why he warned us, brothers and sisters, not just as a nation, but individually. So he says 10, but when you go over Jordan, dwell in the land which the Lord your God giveth you to inherit. And when he giveth you rest from all your enemies round about. So who gives you the rest? You? No. It say the Lord gives you rest. And some of us, we could testify in our own lives that it was nothing we could do about our enemies until the Lord rose up and dealt with them. And he gave us rest. Well, it's no different here, but as a nation. He say when the Lord give you rest from all your enemies. And how he do that? By beating the hell out of your enemies. That's how he do it. Putting them underneath your boots. That's how he gives you rest. So that ye dwell in what? Safety. We not safe right now. This fourth beast is terrorizing us. But here he said, so that when you dwell in safety, 11, then there shall be a place which the Lord your God shall choose to call his name to dwell there. And we know what that place was, Jerusalem. Thither shall ye bring all that I command you, your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, tithes, heave offerings, and your choice vows which ye vow unto the Lord, and ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God, ye and your sons and your daughters, men servants, maid servants, the Levite that is within your gates, for as much as he have no part nor inheritance with you. Why are you going to rejoice? You're going to rejoice because yesterday you were a slave. You went from a slave to getting the hell beat at you, being on the bottom in every category, just on the bottom. When the word bottom is brought up, you think about these black people. You went from that, and overnight, seemingly, you are on the top, and all the nations is under your boots. The Lord say you gonna rejoice. And we're going to rejoice in the Lord. Why, brothers and sisters? Why, brothers and sisters? Because the Lord is worthy of the praise. 13 says, take heed to thyself that thou offer not thy burnt offering in every place that thou seest. So he to my grove worship and making your own temples to do your own sacrifices and religious rites and practices. Lord, like, I don't want you to do it like that. Don't worship me how the heathen worship me. 14, but in the place which the Lord shall choose in one of thy tribes, there shalt thou offer thy burnt offerings, and there thou shalt do all that I commanded thee. Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates. That's right. Whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. That's right. According to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he giveth you. But we know what he mean. He talking about that. Those rituals, those rites, and you're doing stuff, offerings. That's what he's talking about. I don't want you doing that just anywhere. So, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he have given thee, the unclean and the clean, the unclean and the clean may eat thereof, as of the roebuck and of the hart. Only ye shall not eat the blood. Ye shall pour it upon the earth as water. 17, thou mayest not eat within thy gates the tithe. Notice that, the tithe that belongs to God, the tithe of thy corn, or of thy wine, or of thy oil, or the firstlings of thy herds, or of thy flock, nor any of thy vows which thou vowest, nor thy freewill offerings or heave offerings in thy hand. But thou must eat them before the Lord thy God in the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, thou and thy son and thy daughter and thy manservant and thy maidservant and the Levite that is within thy gate. So you ain't gonna do like the nations. You're not going to take your offerings and your tithes and you're going to make some makeshift temple up or go in some grove and complete these rituals. The Lord, like, don't do that. I got a centralized location that I want you guys to do that at. That's stuff the heathen do. You're not going to do what they do. But thou must eat them before the Lord thy God in the place which he chooses. Okay. Thy son, thy daughter, manservant, maidservant, Levite that is within thy gate shall rejoice before the Lord thy God in all that thou puttest thine hand to. Okay, 19. Take heed to thyself that thou forsake not the Levite as long as thou livest upon the earth. And if it's written, that means Israel did it. 20. When the Lord thy God shall enlarge thy border. And why aren't you going to forsake the Levite? You're not going to forsake the Levite. Number one, it's because the Levite was the leader over all of the 12 tribes, essentially. And not only that, we didn't realize those offerings and those tithes that we brought, that sustained the Levites. Because the Levites, they didn't have land, brothers and sisters. They wasn't tilling the land and doing all of that. No. essentially they depended on the rest of the 12 tribes through their worship of God. They depended on them to eat, to live. So guess what? It behooved the Levites to make sure that the 12 tribes were serving the God of Israel, or they wasn't going to eat. So you see how that works in tandem? You see how that worked? And so that's why there was a lot of pressure on the Levites for the children of Israel to serve God. Okay? But we know the Levites, they ended up being corrupt as all heck, which is why we're here today. Verse 20. And the Lord thy God shall enlarge thy border, as he hath promised thee. And thou shalt say, I will eat flesh, because thy soul longeth to eat flesh. Thou mayest eat flesh, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. If the place which the Lord thy God hath chosen to put his name there be too far from thee, just too far, and thou shalt kill of thy herd and of thy flock, which the Lord hath given thee, as I have commanded, and thou shalt eat in thy gates whatsoever thy soul lusteth after. Even as the roebuck and the hart is eaten, so shalt thou eat them. The unclean and the clean shall eat of them alike. So the unclean, the clean, we're talking about like ceremonially clean in terms of the sanctuary or the temple. Okay, verse 23. Only be sure that thou eatest not the blood, so no bloody meat, for the blood is the life thereof, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. So when you eating a burger and a steak, you don't need to be eating it bloody. That stuff need to be cooked, man, all the way through. Thou shalt not eat it. Thou shalt pour it upon the earth as what? Water. Thou shalt not eat it, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee. So to the Lord, that's a serious crime to eat bloody meat. Now we just think, oh, but it's just bloody meat. No, don't eat that mess. And thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. Only thy holy things which thou hast and thy vows thou shalt take, and go into the place which the Lord shall choose. And thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, the flesh and the blood, upon the altar of the Lord thy God. And the blood of thy sacrifices shall be poured out upon the altar of the Lord thy God. And thou shalt eat the flesh. Now, he says, observe and hear all these words which I command thee, that it may go well with thee. You know why he say observe? Observe denotes time, because some time is going to be passing and you're going to be living it up. But you need to always make sure you're looking to be obedient to the Lord, that you're always making sure you and your brothers and sisters are doing thus saith the Lord, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee forever, when thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord thy God. When the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations from before thee, whither thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them and dwellest in their land. Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee. So you're not going to do that foolishness they was doing. And that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how do these nations serve their gods? That's the first step to destruction. Even so will I do likewise, meaning I'm going to destroy you just how you destroyed them Canaanites, how I raised y'all up to destroy them. Well, I'm going to raise some nations up to come and destroy you. That's what he's saying. And he like, hey, listen, Israel, I won't hesitate. That's what he telling. 31. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hateth have they done unto their gods. For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods, essentially killing the innocent, spilling innocent blood. 32. What things soever I commandeth you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add thereunto, nor diminish from it. 13. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder. And when he's talking about a prophet, he's talking about a false prophet, brothers and sisters. It says, in the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet. But notice this false prophet. Notice that the Lord didn't stop this false prophet from prophesying. He didn't kill him. He didn't stop him from breathing. He allowed this false prophet figuratively to utter these lies, essentially. Okay. So the Lord says, don't listen to the words of that prophet or the dreamer of dreams. For what? This is why he allowed a false prophet to speak, and why he allows false prophets to arise. For the Lord your God proveth you, he testing you, to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. And this is why, even when it comes to teachers and preachers, the Lord will allow false ones to pop up, because he want to see who is on his side. He wants to see who really loves him and who has faith in him. Because we wonder to ourselves, why do the Lord allow these false teachers to stay around, and these false teachers to stay around and just spew these damn lies all day? Well, the Bible's telling you right here that the Lord does it to prove you, because he want to see if you going to run with the lie or you going to run with the truth. That's why he does it. And brothers and sisters, unfortunately, a lot of the false teachers and a lot of false preachers, man. We see the people, they are piled up on these channels. They pack the churches out. It's scary, man. It's a scary thing. And the Lord say, I'm doing that because I'm weeding out people. I'm separating the wheat from the tares. And that's how he's doing it, brothers and sisters. That's how he separates the wheat and the tares. He uses false prophets, false teachers, because that's him gauging and seeing who love me and who don't. The Lord is dangerous, boy. Verse 4, ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. But unfortunately, a lot of people, they love lies. That's why even our people in this fourth kingdom, this fourth beast, hey, what Babylon got for them out there is just too good. I know what the Lord's saying. I know exactly what he's saying. Have faith in Christ. Keep the Sabbath day. Keep this. Do this, this, and this. But I'm sorry, man. That football game on Saturday is too good. I can't give it up. I like going to all the best restaurants on Saturday. Even though they open on Sunday, I got to go on Saturday. I love it. I love exploiting my brothers and sisters. They so damn stupid. It's so easy to get money off them. Even though the Lord told me that was a sin. And by doing that, I hate my brother and my sister. They can't help it. Babylon is too good, because you know what Babylon offers? Babylon offers pleasure through sin. And that pleasure, Israel doesn't want to give it up. Even a lot of brothers and sisters supposed to be following the Lord. They got one foot in the book and the other foot out there. And in the Lord's eyes, you out there. You just thinking you're playing both, but really you're out there. He could see that some of y'all heart isn't all the way with him. Your heart isn't all the way towards the Lord. We had ancestors like that. The Bible saying his heart wasn't wholly with the Lord. Some of y'all are like that. Some of y'all are fair weather worshipers. We got to worship God when it's popular and when it's not popular. When it's convenient and when it's not convenient. When you in pain or when you not in pain. We are to worship the Lord our God, and him only shall we worship. Verse 5. It says, and that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death. So the Lord letting you know after a while, that false prophet, that false teacher, preacher, I'm going to deal with them after a while. Don't worry about that. I'm going to deal with them. Says, because he have spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way, which the Lord thy God commandeth thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. So the Lord eventually going to deal with these false preachers, teachers, prophets, reverends, evangelists, whatever they call themselves. He said, I'm going to deal with them eventually. But notice how the Lord always have a remnant speaking his word, speaking truth to power. But when it comes to the false prophets, the false teachers and preachers, he makes sure that they're abundant. He makes sure they are everywhere because he wants to see if you're going to run with the crowd or if you're going to go with that which is unpopular. The one everybody hate. The one everybody say, ain't no way this man or this woman, there's no way they could be serving God. There is no way God is with them. That's how the Lord gets you, man, every single time. Okay. But verse 6, if thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly. And notice that it says secretly, because let me tell you something, brothers and sisters, a lot of brothers and sisters' feet slid right out of this truth. Why? Because somebody got in their ear. I've seen that happen a lot over the years, brothers and sisters. You got a brother and sister, they mind, their heart, soul is focused on the Lord. But you got some Negro or Negress behind the scene that come and get in their ear and they start distorting the truth. And next thing you know, the brother and the sister lost their damn mind. And the next thing you know, they out there in the world. Because they let this friend, they let their son, somebody close to them, somebody who they rock with, get in their ear and turn their heart. It lets you know, brothers and sisters, we got to guard our mind. Because sometimes enemies rise up from the most unexpected places. And our enemies are some of the most unexpected people. That's why no matter what, you guard this. I laugh with my sister. I laugh with my mother, my father. I laugh with some of y'all. But at the end of the day, I'm guarding my mind. Because one day, anybody can rise up and be an enemy. So I have to guard this. You got to save yourself, brothers and sisters. Never forget that. We come together, we congregate, we worship. But remember, this is an individual walk. You must save yourself, okay? But this friend or whoever says, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely, of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent I don't care how good of a friend he is or how long y'all been dealing with each other. Listen, when he come and try to turn your heart from the Lord, you got to put him in his place, bro. Hey, get out of here. You're not finna fill my mind with some foolishness. I'm in this thing for the Lord, not you. So when it come down to it, you got to go. But I'm going to stay rocking with the Lord. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him. Neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. And we know we can't do that here. Not in this captivity right here. So what do we do instead? We say, get your ass out of here. Don't come over here with that stuff. Go take that somewhere else. But when it come to me and my salvation, oh, I'm serving the Lord. Take that junk somewhere else. That's how you got to be. You got to be rough. Let them know. We could laugh about stuff and we could joke around about little other stuff. But when it come to my salvation, it's me. I love myself over everybody. You got to see it like that. You got to love yourself over everybody. Oh, heck no. Because by me deserting the Lord, that means I hate myself. And that I don't love my own soul and don't want to save my own soul. You got to see it as this friend trying to attack you, trying to basically get you killed. That ain't no friend. What friend trying to get you killed? And we not talking about physical, we talking about a spiritual death. By the hands of God. Oh, man, my friend trying to kill me. Bro, you got to go, bro. Or sis, you got to get your ass out of here. Don't come over here with that stuff. They may get mad and, well, I thought you was my friend. Get your ass out of here. You can go beat it, sucker. How about that? Go beat it. Don't come over here trying to turn my heart from the Lord. And that's how some people do. Their only intent is to get close to you so they could take you off the path that the Lord put you on. Nah, hell no. Get your ass out of here. I don't play that stuff. I'm going to save my life by serving the Lord, and ain't nobody going to derail me from that. Okay? But let's get it. So the Lord said, you're going to surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death. And afterward the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die. Because he have sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God, which will result in a spiritual death. Your brother or sister was trying to spiritually damn you. That's worse than any physical death. They were trying to get you put to death spiritually. So the Lord like, hey, that's murder. That's attempted murder in God's eyes. So the Lord said, hey, you're going to put them to death. Which brought the, so you're going to, he sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God, which is attempted murder, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear in fear. See, because now that's a learning opportunity. Everybody gonna see what happened to your friend or whoever it was close to you that tried to move you away from the Lord. They're gonna see the punishment on them. They're gonna say, hey, even if it's in their heart, they say, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to get put to death. So even if it's in their heart to move somebody away from the Lord, to go serve these gods or go run after money and women, hey, I ain't doing that. I ain't trying to get put to death. But let's keep going. It says, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you. 12. If thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy God hath given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Belial, are going out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods which ye have not known. Then shalt thou inquire and make search. And when we say leave God and serve other gods, we're not just talking about statues or these little knickknacks, brothers and sisters, but these are people that come to you trying to turn your heart away to run after something other than God. So basically, we're going to turn your heart from God so we can go after this music career. Right? So we can go get this money. So we can go get these women. So we can go exploit to get this. That's the stuff the Lord talking about. Lord said, we ain't going to play around with people like that. They got to get up out of here. It says, verse 14, then shalt thou inquire and make search. So you're not going to just accuse anybody of doing nothing. You're going to inquire first. You're going to make search and ask diligently. Okay, so you're going to be careful in the matter before you go accusing anybody. And behold, if it be true and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought among you. And the reason why the Lord wants you to inquire, search, be diligent in your investigation, because we know that there are false witnesses that like to lie on people. So we have to be smart. We have to be intelligent about how we handle situations. 15, thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, because you don't want the evil to spread. And all that is therein, and the cattle thereof, with the edge of the sword. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof. And thou shalt burn the city, burn with fire the city. So the Lord ain't playing. And all the spoil thereof, every whit, for the Lord thy God. And it shall be in heap forever. It shall not be what? Built again. 17. So the Lord doesn't even want a remembrance of the sin. That's why he say burn it, the city, with fire. Because he doesn't and don't even build it again, because he doesn't even want the sins of these men or whoever to even be remembered. That's why the Lord, when he come back, this fourth kingdom over the whole earth, he gonna burn this damn thing down. He gonna burn it all down. He gonna burn it, brothers and sisters. Well, you ain't got to say all that. He gonna burn it all. Burn it all. You know why? Because he don't want the sins of this fourth kingdom or the kingdoms of the past to ever be remembered ever again. Once they destroy, that is it. The Lord don't even want it to be built back up. Not even a semblance. Burn it all. And we gonna start anew. That fourth kingdom, the fourth beast, is a thing of the past. Verse 17, and there shall cleave not of the cursed thing to thy hand, that the Lord may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and shew thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee, as he have sworn unto thy fathers, when thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep all his commandments, which I command thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord thy God. And I hope you guys got some understanding, and I will see you in the next lesson. Shalom.